traders, welcome to another episode of the weekly analysis video. So for this week, what I'd like to go through is a little bit more in-depth and into how you can use the fundamental analysis as well as the sentiment analysis, which is mainly the commitment of traders report, right, to help us identify potential pairs that we want to put our focus on and even scout for potential entries, alright, to enter those pairs. So without further ado, let's go through some of the routine that we go over, right, when we analyze the market itself. So the first thing that we like to go through is always the Forex calendar, right, to have a quick update on what are the key events or news data release that will be focusing on this week. All right, so on Monday itself, which is today, we do have some Euro news. All right, most of them has been released. If you look into further into the week, all right, Tuesday itself, we have a Fed announcement later, followed by German business climate and of course the RBA government speaks as well. And if you look into let's say Wednesday and Thursday, we wouldn't have much key events for this week. All right. Another key point to note is that the holiday festive season is starting to pick up, right? So you might be expecting some changes in the market in terms of volatility, right? Because traders are going into the holiday mood, and market might be a little bit quiet in a way, all right. But traders, speculators will still be inside, all right. That's why your volatility will perhaps drop, and liquidity might also drop, right? So these are some of the things that you might want to take to note if you are still deciding, all right, to trade into the December period, right? But if you look at the key event news, this particular week isn't very heavy, all right. Some of the things that you want to take note is also holidays, all right. Thursday is the US bank holiday, all right. Other than that, there's not much in terms of the focus for the event calendar, right? Unless you would like to pick into specific ones to trade, right? For example, the second estimate on GDP, on pound, New Zealand trade balances, and such, all right. But for us, we wouldn't have much focus into this for this week, right? But let me bring you into the fundamental data analysis as well, the sentiment analysis, and how you can make full use of this information to help you to spot potential selected pairs, to focus on as well, right? So this information is provided for all our clients, right? Both the sentimental and the fundamental analysis, all right. So as a client, what you just need to do is to click onto FXP clients tab, and you will have access to all this information, and we do update them regularly as well. Right, so let me bring you to the sentiment analysis, mainly the COT report first. Right, so for this week, the focus is really on Aussie. Right, so let me bring you through some of the information and how you can make full use of this. Right, so for the COT report, what we are focusing on is a lot on the non-commercial positions. All right, non-commercial positions are mainly the huge players. All right, then you have the commercial positions. Commercial positions are companies that mainly enter positions to hedge in terms of their business itself. All right, so those people are entering the FX market not to make a profit out of it, but really to hedge their positions and protect their businesses in terms of fluctuations in the forex market. Right, so that's why if you want to read into the COT report, a lot of focus is put on non-commercial positions. Alright, so basically what you have is that this COT report will be released on a weekly basis. Alright, and you have like long, short, and net positions. Simply means how many long positions are in the market, how many short positions are in the market, and the net is simply the difference between the long positions and the short position. Alright, so generally, alright, if you have a net negative figure, simply means that mainly most of the positions are in the short side. All right, and the net week on week is basically the changes between previous week to this week. All right, so you can see that previous week was negative 14,000. All right, this week was about 13,000 negative. All right, so that what it means is that the positions has been reduced. All right, so meaning the negative position has been reduced. It means the short positions overall compared to last week itself, there's such changes, all right, very, very minor changes, right? OI simply means open interest, right, you can see that the open interest generally in the direction has been increasing. That means more and more positions has been built into the market, right, over the 4 weeks itself. Right, COT index is basically the index for the commitment of traders. All right, and what you want to focus on is the extreme region. Right, extreme regions are meaning below 10 and above 90. All right, so what you can see over here is that Aussie itself for this week, we have a COT index of 5.76, definitely below the extreme region. All right, so that's something that bring us to an attention as well. The 52 weeks range is basically the change in this week. All right, in relation to a year period. All right, so 16.2 percentage change simply means that this week changes. All right, in terms of the positions, is about 16% of the previous year's range. All right, so this one, what we are focusing on is that if the range is very high, all right, meaning if the percentage is above 60, or even across a period if it's above 60 and such, then you might want to take into consideration, because a lot of positions are starting to build up in the market. All right, if your weekly range, all right, for example, this one is decreasing, simply means that there's not much activity happening in the particular pair. All right, so this is something that hope I'll give you some insights into how you can use all this information to help you in your market research and analysis as well. Right, and of course over here I did drop a little bit a short summary in terms of what all this informations are telling. All right, so for example, net positions drop further. Okay, open interest continues to increase. Right, COT fell below the extreme region, and overall sentiment is still bearish. All right, so this gives us a very quick idea on which particular pair you want to focus on. All right, so with this, let me bring you to the fundamental analysis on Aussie. Right, so the fundamental analysis in terms of Aussie for this month itself, all right, you can see that consumer health has dropped slightly, all right, but the labor market has increased significantly. All right, close to I would say close to double. All right, inflation wasn't much movement. Activity in terms of business and economic activity has dropped slightly. All right, housing market has improved significantly as well, and overall in terms of the Chinese market, it has a slight improvement. And overall in terms of the Aussie fundamental, all right, this month itself we are seeing an improvement. Right, so overall we know that the central bank of Australia is still looking into maintaining and improving their activity in it. All right, and highly likely with this improvement in the economy, the bank might not look into cutting their interest rate so soon. All right, but that's something that the banks are also looking at. So with that, what we have in terms of the bias is a short-term bullish, all right, but definitely going into the long term, we are still looking at a possibility that the bank might still cut their interest rate. All right, so looking at this, all right, and we pull in our chart, all right, having a bigger picture of what the sentiment and the fundamental of the Aussie market is doing, we pull in our technical chart to look at what's happening in the price as well. Right, so you can see the past week itself, price has rallied. All right, and what we see in terms of the sentiment is that a lot of short positions are built into this. All right, so this short-term rally, all right, together with the fundamental, might be simply be a very short-term build-up into price. And what we see is that as price increases, all right, as price rises in terms of Aussie dollar, a lot of short positions are built into the market as well. So what we are looking at is definitely still shorting in terms of this market. All right, so having that in mind, let's look into how this technical aspect will give us a case into entering the chart as well. Right, so the first thing that we want to look at is what we are seeing here is a potential one-to-one setup. All right, let me clone this. All right, we have a potential 1:1. All right, very close. I would say it has hit just before market close last week. Right, and if you put in your Fibonacci, let me put in the 2. Right, if you pull in from this high to this high, what we have is that a 50% retracement. Right, with a 50% retracement, what we have is a potential bad pattern. Right, so let me drop in the bad pattern. Alright, so this is one potential pattern that we have. And if you want to look into more confluences, alright, if we pull in more Fibonacci in terms of extension, we might see something along as well. Right, maybe drop the 141 and 1618. Alright, you can see that price has reacted at the 141 to 1618 region. Alright, and if I pull in another one, alright, in terms of the inside leg, right, so what we have is that previously a 161 and 141 confluence as well. Alright, so we definitely are seeing some reaction over at this region, alright, and I would say last week, alright, we never really shoot out this signal to the clients, alright, but what we are monitoring for this week itself is still within this region, alright, the bad pattern, the one-to-one, as well as the Fibonacci confluence. So what I'm going to share you is in this video is not really this particular pair on how you can trade it, but what I want to show you is how you can approach the market with not just the technical analysis, alright, but using the sentimental and the fundamental aspect of it to build a case into entering the market, alright? Because with all this information and all this research done, you enter the market more convicted and more confident into trading together with the big players, alright, together with the banks on how they actually see these prices move. Right, and not simply just stick on the technical part and predict or even anticipate. Right, so this is something that we would be doing. Alright, we continue to improve on all these aspects moving forward, and of course slowly giving you more information as to how we use them to improve our performance as well. Right, so so what I'd like to share with you that moving forward we'll also be releasing a weekly publication. Alright, this one I'm not sure if we'll do it so soon, alright, but moving forward definitely we'll be releasing weekly publications into sharing with you all this information. Right, and if you like to keep updated, alright, what you do is you can go to our website, alright, under the home tab below this segment you can subscribe to our newsletter, alright, and whenever there's an update we will actually publish it out and push it out to all our mailers. Alright, so with that I'd like to just keep this video short, alright, just mainly to share with you some of the analysis of how you can approach the market. Alright, if you have any questions or anything that is unclear, alright, do feel free to drop your comments below this video and I'll do my best to answer them and to help you out in terms of your market analysis and research as well. Alright, with that I'll talk to you soon and happy trading.